Dance of the Dragonflies. Day 3. Dank, musty air choked me within the hospital walls like abandoned wet laundry. The constant beeping monitors intensified in the evening. Every time I closed my eyes, another shadow rushed by the door. All the staff dressed in the same flat uniform with masks hiding their faces. I rolled over within my sheets and etched the vibrant colors of dragonfly wings into my memory instead. My younger brother, Kevin, had developed a new obsession with dragonflies. He spurted out facts about them every day, including this morning. He bounced to the edge of the bed. "Chazik, did you know that dragonflies are best insects to have around when there are a lot of mosquitoes? Dragonflies love to eat them. I wonder what they taste like." "Oh, really?" I said. "Could you bring some up here, please? Mosquitoes are biting me every single night, and it's impossible to sleep." He peered at the open window in my room. "Can't you tell them to close it?" "They can, but if they don't let air out, this place smells like a morgue." "What's a morgue?" "Oh, ask Mom, okay?" Day 9. Today my brother brought a small plastic container with a blurry shape fluttering inside it. He practically vibrated with excitement. "Chazik, look! I brought you a gift. It's a beautiful dragonfly. It'll help with the mosquitoes here, I promise." I smiled at him and offered up my hands to receive the container. My hands and arms looked different. My skin had pulled taut over my wrists. I ignored my weak limbs and carefully peeked into the container. He was right. This dragonfly was beautiful. The four wings were different shades of blue, a mixture of turquoise, cobalt, azure, and sapphire, with tips of emerald green. The crimson tail shaded into magenta at the elegant creature's thorax. I had never seen an insect so beautiful. "Where did you find this?" He beamed. "You wouldn't believe it. I found her behind our house in the little meadow. I bet the mosquitoes here will hate dragonflies. So I did a little searching and caught a dragonfly for you." Look at my little brother. The same kid I watched take his first step 6 years ago. His perfectly soft skin, the way he bounced when he walked, the endless exuberant chatter. It reminded me that Kevin was still a baby. "Thanks, Kev. She'll be a great friend to me while I'm here." I popped open the container and released the dragonfly. She instantly flew out the window. "Don't worry," Kevin said. "She'll come back. So many mosquitoes are around here. It's like a buffet for her." I gave him back the container and kissed him on the cheek. As Kevin and Aunt Jeannie left, my nurse came to check the fluids in my IV. I liked Nurse Debbie, my personal guardian angel. "Are you ready to sleep now, sweetheart?" she asked. "I guess so." I buried my true feelings, deep down where Kevin couldn't see them. A shrill hum picked at the edges of my hearing, soft but building. The mosquitoes sounded hungry. Tonight the dragonfly might pass as much pain onto them as they have inflicted on me. I can only hope. Dragonflies darted in my imagination like angels smiting evil demon pests. I slipped into a deep slumber. Day 17. The days passed, and the itchy bumps torturing my skin slowly decreased. My dragonfly was eating pretty well at her buffet, but she didn't dine enough. I walked into the bathroom and jumped at the face in the mirror. Hardly recognized myself. Despite swallowing every meal and requesting seconds, my ribs protruded against my skin like baby snakes fighting to break through their leathery eggs into the world. "Is my son getting food?" my mother barked at poor Nurse Debbie. "He looks as thin as a toothpick." "Of course, ma'am. We follow a very strict diet program here." Nurse Debbie winked at me. Mom didn't know about the extra brownies and milk she snuck to me. For the millionth time that week, I was grateful for my guardian angel. Clearly it's not enough. I'm bringing him some vegetables tomorrow. He needs all the nutrients he can get. Mom turned out the room to pester other nurses. Her hair stuck up in a frazzled bun, and dark circles framed her tired eyes. Her usual groomed perfectionism was gone. Does she feel as helpless as me? Kevin and Dad held worry in their eyes, clouding their smiles when they looked at me. Jazik, did you know that when dragonflies mate, they make heart shapes? My brother suddenly asked. I don't know what mate means. Mom and Dad won't tell me, but it sounds cool. Will you tell me? I shifted my startled stare to my father. It's not up to me to have that talk, is it? Don't worry about that, Kevin, Dad interrupted. We'll cross that bridge later. Jazik, I'll sneak you a burger and some fries tomorrow. Don't tell your mother, or I might join you here in the next bed, full of unwanted injuries. He grinned, but it seemed thin. Like me. Kevin and I pushed out laughs. Dad shot a look over his shoulder and exaggerated a relieved sigh. Luckily, Mom was still pestering the staff. Food was the least of my worries. My parents knew that. I struggled to walk on my own more every day. Even menial tasks, such as making it to the bathroom, required planning and execution. Relying on my walker and shaky legs, I became the mirror image of the old man in the room next door. The doctors told me that this might happen. I'd hoped they were wrong. Day 21. My brother waltzed into my room holding a familiar container, buzzing with new visitors. Big brother, I'm sorry I took so long to catch more, but look, Jazik. It's okay, little bro. I know you're doing your best. And guess what? Your first dragonfly has already done a great job. See? I revealed my relatively bite-free forearms, and he glowed with pride. Together, we gently unlatched the container's lid, granting freedom to the enchanting creatures. We watched in awe as the dragonflies gracefully took flight out the window, their wings emitting soft ethereal sounds reminiscent of distant TV static. Jazik, can you guess what else I learned about dragonflies? I shook my head, bracing myself. They do almost everything while flying, even eating. Can you imagine trying to eat and fly at the same time? They're so cool. Some people say when you watch a lot of them together, they dance for you. I smiled encouragingly. Yeah, that must be pretty difficult. And my sentence drowned in a fit of coughing. Specks of crimson dotted my pristine sheets, prompting Kevin to gasp silently, his eyes widening. It's all right, little bro, I managed to utter between coughs. I'll call Nurse Debbie. She'll fix me up. I pressed the call button, stealing a glance at Kevin to gauge any change in his expression. His face stayed frozen, a mixture of horror and loving sadness. Nurse Debbie promptly appeared and wiped a few lingering garnet droplets around my mouth. She tenderly administered a fresh dose of medication. Once my parents were assured my coughing had ceased and I was looked after, they gave their goodbyes. Their affectionate kisses lingered upon my forehead as Mom softly pried away my brother, who detached himself to my bedside. Dad stopped to talk with the doctor, just out of earshot. Their whispers became fragments of conversations testing my ears. I'm sorry, but we believe surgery may only. Uncertain about the exact nature of his condition. Monitor the progress of, given the potential implications. Dire circumstances, I don't recommend it. Ultimately, it is your decision. An eerie silence settled. Is that our best option, doctor? My mom asked quietly, joining them, She pulled my little brother close next to her. Noticing my eavesdropping, Nurse Debbie strode toward me with a forced, gentle smile curving her lips. She quietly closed the door. The new medication coursed through my veins, enveloping my body. I watched the sun's golden rays paint the sky outside the window and listened for the hum of mosquitoes and dragonflies. Day 25. The absence of mosquito bites finally freed my arms from incessant itching. Brimming with gratitude, I could hardly wait to share the good news with Kevin, but he was not here today. Movement had become a Herculean task. My muscle deterioration impeded my ability to speak, and even the simple task of pressing the call button posed a challenge. The medicine, once effective in alleviating pain, now offered little relief. I mustered what little movements I could to signal Nurse Debbie. Leaning in, she strained to hear my feeble utterances, and my words were lost to her. Kindly, she smiled and said, "I'm here to keep you comfy, sweetie. Don't worry, your mom and dad are visiting soon." Her hands lifted out of sight. The numbing drugs advanced down the IV into my veins. I drifted into darkness once more. Angry shouts outside jerked me awake. The clamor of heavy footsteps and clanking utility belts. Was that security? My mother's livid voice harshly shrilled. "This so-called best hospital in the country!" Kevin rushed in from the hallway and swiftly shut the door behind him. He paused at my bedside. His small hands lifted my arms to inspect them for any new bite marks. When he saw none, his joyful bounce returned. "I knew it! I'm a genius! I knew I could help you, big brother!" His words echoed in the room. I yearned to respond, but my voice failed me. I attempted to smile the widest smile I could manage, hoping he would notice my delight. He slumped into the chair next to me. "Mom keeps saying the mosquitoes did all of this to you, but the doctors tell her she's wrong." He was silent for a moment. "I thought if she was right, maybe I could get the dragonflies to eat them all. Then you'll be all better. But..." I demanded my words to spill out, to tell him he did great. His efforts, his ingenious ideas, made an enormous difference. But no words left my lips. Moving, speaking, and even coherent thought, morphine or not, had gotten so hard. My eyes only slightly opened and fixed upon him as he watched me struggle to communicate. Kevin leaned closer. It was my chance for him to catch my words, even just one. My first sentence disintegrated into the void that was the short distance between us. I focused and poured my feelings into one last word. Please, just one word to tell him how lucky I felt to have him as a younger brother. How amazing he was to think of the dragonflies. How much I miss hearing his mischievous laugh and seeing his jubilant smile. I willed it with every fiber of my being until my garbled chalk broke, and I called his name, but it was too late. Kevin sagged back in the chair where he wouldn't hear my whisper. For the first time I could remember, my little brother had nothing more to say, not even the last dragonfly fact. Day 32. Tonight, my parents, grandparents, Kevin, and my best friend James stayed with me in the hospital. They put on a brave facade for me, exuding an upbeat, happy presence at my side. I knew what was happening. They knew it too. My sentiments stayed locked behind my voiceless state. Time pressed on relentlessly, each tick of the clock driving me deeper into oblivion. Day 33. At a fated time in the evening, the steady hum of the monitor was interrupted by a long, piercing beep. The swarm of mosquitoes had been vanquished, but the dragonflies strangely remained. They lingered near the window, hovering and darting in sharp, elegant vectors over the windowsill, the IV stand, and my roommate's empty bed. "The dragonflies," Kevin whispered, wiping his damp face. "They're dancing. It's their farewell dance for Josik." My family marveled at the dragonflies' rhythmic movements, emitting little spurring chitters that mingled in perfect harmony, and the light glinted against the vibrant colors of their bodies. Gradually, they began to interlock their delicate forms. Kevin was right. They made hearts.